All right, here we go.
Cool.
Liverpool versus everybody. We are back. By we, I mean myself, Jamz, and Mame to join us later. First of all, obviously, you want to say what's up to Jamz. How you doing, man? Everything good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. All good.
Good, good, good. Before we start, I just want to touch on a couple of topics that don't really have to do with Liverpool, but it's on my mind, so I'm going to bring it up. And obviously, as everyone knows at this point, 33-year-old Nipsey Hussle passed away Sunday, I believe, a day before April Fool's, to a senseless murder in his community. So I just want to say big up and much love and prayers go out to his family, his kids, and that community who was directly affected. He was doing so many great things for this community, for his people, and it's unfortunate to lose that. And I think when things like that happen, you really just hopefully are starting to just treasure life and realize that tomorrow isn't promised. So just want to shout him out for that. And also, Moise Ken, the young, I think he's 19-year-old. Italian but African player who's representing Italy, who's been getting a lot of flack over there, and I think there shouldn't be too many people surprised with that. This is what's been going on in Italy for quite a long time, and this is why I always say that I really wish African players, and people are not going to agree with this, and that's fine. I really wish African players, chose their country to play with. Now I get it; he was born in Italy, born to family from the Ivory Coast, and I just feel like, and it's a shame because I think when you see players like that in Syria, it's nice. It's nice to see that, but you always know that other part, the other side to it. I'm sure Balotelli has gone through it. I'm sure other African players have gone through it. So, and it's fascinating to me where people continue to say things like, "Oh, it's 2019." It's like racism will always exist. I hate to break it to you people, but it's always going to be here. What needs to happen though is people coming down more so on these fans, and it's really sad to see what Bonucci said. His own teammate, who's also Italian, so it didn't surprise me, and also what the Cagliari president said. Really, just disgusting. So anyway, let's move on to football. Obviously, what we're here to talk about. Go ahead.
Just quickly, did you see Sterling's reply?
Remind me what it was. I think I've seen it, but I can vaguely remember what it was.
I've got it on my phone. He replied to Bonucci this morning on Instagram, and he basically said the blame is 50-50 at Bonucci. Lol, lots of laughing, lots of clapping sarcastically, and then he put, "All you can do now is laugh." So it'd be nice that Man City draw. It'd be nice to see Sterling go against Bonucci and give him some.
Oh man!
I just want to shout out Raheem Sterling. I know he's a rival of ours, and
please, good.
Yeah, what he's doing, we as fans and football, gods need to protect Raheem Sterling because he's getting on the nerves of all the powerful right-wing media outlet. They can't stand him, and it saddens me that it takes a 23-year-old to come out and stick up for him. When there's also many powerful African black players that could also come out and say something, and but big up Raheem Sterling, very proud of him and whatnot. It's really good.
Yeah, and if you can't take that stance on Sterling simply because you're still, in your feelings about the way he left us or he's a rival, then something's wrong. At some point, you got to put that to the side. Football is football, rivalries are rivalries, but what he's gone through and will probably continue to go through, as long as he's doing this well, is really shameful. So yeah, but that's the climate that we're in, and hopefully at some point, although I feel like racism will always be around, at least in football we can do something to stop a lot of this from happening. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's get into the football. So obviously, so the title of the video is "What's Luck Got to Do with It?" And I made it that because I think it's fair for people to bring up the whole idea of luck and these situations that we've had where goalkeepers have just pulled a madness. I don't know what the hell these guys have done, but I also feel like you got to be in these situations to get this quote unquote luck, or to get this quote unquote fortune, or whatever the case may be. And let's be honest. Well, let me just say my opinion, and then I'll get to you, James. Is I don't know that I can say that I think we deserve to win that game. And I don't know how many people would agree with me on that. But I think Spurs were quite unfortunate. And maybe there was some luck in the fact that, you know, for example, Musa Sissoko didn't have his shooting boots on. I mean, I know he's not a prolific goal scorer anyway. And you got to give Virgil van Dijk some credit there. But talk to me about, and we'll get into the breakdown analysis of the game, but talk to me just about this word luck and how you feel about the season's been going. And did you think that we deserved to win that game? Or
I
know it's a tough one because, you know, but go ahead.
It's a good question. I think I'm seeing the gender luck, and I don't think I think luck balances itself out throughout a season. I think you have things that go your way and the other way. Now, just a prime example is 12 months ago, Harry Kane had 2 penalties in the last 2 minutes at Anfield. Missed his first, they got another penalty, which wasn't a penalty. Van Dijk drawed his leg, knee back. Anyway, so if Tottenham fans want to talk luck, you were given 2 penalties in the 90th minute. So look, Man City said they're lucky that Mahrez hit it over. Well, what about unlucky that our ball was a fraction off going past the line at the Etihad, which changed the game.
Speak on it.
Yeah, so I think luck's one of them ones where people are looking for an agenda to build against Liverpool, and it's hard. It's hard to build one against us because we've scored the second most goals, we've got the most clean sheets, we are defending well. Salah set pieces. Salah slows down. Sadio Mane steps up. Yep. You know, we lose our best midfielder. No one can tell. We've improved. We buy Robertson for 8 mil. He's got 1 assist more than or same as Pogba. You know, you know, and Gomez is out for 4 months. It doesn't matter. Matic becomes a legend. So I think it's just trying to pick at the smallest of things to say it's luck. And there's agenda against Liverpool winning the league because it's been so long, and because we're such a massive football club. So there's people all around the world, you know, pushing Liverpool to win the league, and it's pissing people off like Tottenham fans and stuff like that. So
yeah. There's so much more we can go on that, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. But let's just talk about the lineup and the part of the pitch or in the formation or in the team that kind of divides opinion. And that's the midfield. So when you saw this, the Brexit plus one as we call it, were you of the mindset of, look, Klopp's done this before, let me trust him, I don't want to question him, it's Klopp, you know, or did you think, what the hell is he doing? When we got Fab, who's been on a nasty streak. What's going on? Now, Milner has been off. He's had a long break. So you think, okay, maybe there. But yeah, talk to me about the midfield and were you as disappointed as it seemed like you were on Twitter, or did you feel like, we'll be fine?
No, I was disappointed. I think Fabinho, he's just proved it again against Tottenham. He is in our strongest 11, regardless, home, away. We can be playing in France or Stoke on a Wednesday night. I don't care. Fabinho, for me, is part of the spine of the team now. So the midfield from now on, personally, is Fabinho +2. Whoever the other 2, Fabinho needs to be our number 6. Because his 15 minutes camo was phenomenal. The way he broke up play, the way he restarts attacks. He's everywhere. He's got legs like a spider. And I'm really sorry on Hendo. I think Hendo's a great player and a great person, but he just doesn't have anything in his cabinet that Fabinho does, either does Milner. So, yeah, Fabinho now needs to start every game. Forget big games or home games. He needs to start every game. As for the other 2, it's tricky with Wijnaldum. Yeah, I'm probably Mr. Reliable with Wijnaldum. And Hendo can be reliable as well, but Hendo offers so little. But yeah, my answer to the question is I was definitely disappointed when I saw Fabinho not starting. I feel like Klopp is maybe a bit scared. Maybe he doesn't trust Fabinho 100% yet. I'm not too sure, but I just think you know what you get from Hendo, Milner with Wijnaldum, and it's lack of creating chances. It's passing backwards and sideways, and it's just they're all too similar.
Yeah, and I think I don't think this is a crazy statement to make, but I think Fabinho is similar to Van Dijk in that when he's on the pitch, Gini looks better. When he's on his left, looks better. You know, so. And, you know, Gini's played a lot of football. He's played a lot of football. Not to give him an excuse for not having a great game, but that's just the fact. He's played a lot. I'd like to think that he's probably up there with most minutes.
Definitely.
Next to Virgil, maybe next to Salah.
And internationally, he plays a lot of minutes.
Right. And he's playing a slight, extremely different role.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating. I mean, I'm glad you brought up Gini because for me, yes, Gini has had a great season. But oftentimes, personally, I'm like, what does he actually do? besides, you know, keep his behind between, you know, the ball and the player, and recycle the ball. And I mean, what does he really do? And I think a lot of times he goes missing. And the thing that was said a lot last season, I mean, even some of this season, is that he's kind of a ghost. And the way the team is playing, he kind of blends in with that. So if we're not looking good, then he looks really bad. If we're looking good, then you kind of notice it from him. So I'd love to see more of that attacking play that he may have showed at Newcastle or at PSG. And I'm not just saying that because we haven't seen it here lately, but I think if he has, because clearly Klopp's telling him not to do those things because he's not doing them. You know, I feel like he wouldn't be playing as much if he wasn't doing what Klopp asked him to do. So, again, the midfield is something that's really a head scratch. I don't know why Klopp persists with that midfield in any game, really, especially a big game, though. I mean, we've had some success with it. You think about Roma, maybe one of those legs was good. PSG, they were decent. But by and large, it's not really, you know, because there's this whole narrative. This whole narrative of that's the team that got us to the final, which
it's not. Ox was a massive part of that in the second half of the season. Coutinho was preferred, and Ox was. And when you look at the Roma leg, we just outscored Roma. You know, it weren't a good performance when you look at it over 180 minutes. We just basically outscored them. So I don't get what Klopp's fixation is with that team. I just think it's the sensible team. It's the team that you probably won't get battered by. You know, you won't lose by, but you know, it's just not impressive. And I think it's now or never. It's now or never, because eventually, I don't want to say our luck will run out, but you know, I don't know. It could come down to the last game of the season, Wolves at home, you know.
But not to cut you off, but the luck could run out. That's just facts.
It could run out, you know. And you look at Man City, I don't want to compare us, but they play with 2 10s. You know, Pep just goes all out for every game. I know we might not have the same quality in midfield, but he's just X'd off Shaqiri and Keita. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, that's beyond the strange.
Yeah, it's strange. Like, Keita wasn't even involved internationally. I don't think so. Keita's legs must be 100% fit.
You'd imagine.
You'd imagine. And you know, him and Shaqiri, I just don't get it. I do not. I'm so surprised. They've just disappeared. But yeah, I wanted to ask you something quickly before we carry on. What's your thoughts on Origi?
Stay at Liverpool.
Yeah, is it? So why is that?
I mean, this guy, and I'd say this, taking the rose-tinted glasses off, for his career, it might be best that he moves on. But as a fan, and what I want to be best for the team, I mean, what he adds in the game. And remember, he didn't score. Neither did Fab. None of them had a goal or assist, but they both were very effective in their own way as soon as they came on the field. And what Origi does, you know, Trippier didn't want any part of anybody else. He didn't want Mane. He was done. And so to have Origi come on so direct, you know, winning. People forget winning the corner that set up to the goal. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
You know, he's just so direct, and obviously we know what happened with him in Everton, but I would love to keep Origi, man. I really would, and I hope Klopp sees it that way as well. I mean, at this point, listen, Sturridge is not even on the bench, and he's going with Origi.
So
yeah, he's definitely done. But I mean, I mean, you asked me a question, and I think I'd say I'd love to keep Origi. What are your thoughts?
I'm getting there. I'm getting to that point. I think Origi is doing nothing wrong at the moment. He is fighting for another chance at Liverpool, another season. And I think it is probably in his best interest. I got what you said about is it best for him. I think Origi, as a kid, was a big high prospect talent. You know, he was up there with, you know, Lukaku and Batshuayi, and them two have kind of leveled up a bit. And Origi kind of doesn't really make this Belgium squad and whatnot no more. So I think he would take the bench role with both hands next season. I think if they said to him, listen, you're going to be the go-to man. We're going to get improvements on Lallana. We're going to get improvements on Sturridge. But what I like about Origi is he can play out wide. He can play in the middle. He also adds height. And like you said, directness. He does have this striker's attributes. When you look at like Salah and Mane and Firmino, sometimes they lack that direct, just striker instinct because, you know, they've grown up playing out wide or playing in the middle. Origi does have that. So I think at the moment, he's trying to earn it, and I'm probably saying he needs to continue this. He could have a big part of the season to go, massive. You know, can you imagine the Champions League final or whatever, the last game of the season? My only thing is there someone out there like Origi but better? You know, Man City have Jesus, for instance, and Mahrez. I doubt we'd get him, but like if we could have Depay coming off the bench, or if we could have, you know, that's my only thing. Is Origi the same quality as what the levels that we need to be at, which I think we need to be top 5 in Europe, and that's where we are around 5th or 6th. That's my only thing. Can I really get my trust back to be to that level? Maybe we could go with another loan. I'm not sure, but you know, yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'd love Zaha. Maybe Zaha. I think there's a few players. There's a few players that I'm a fan of. And we've got depth. We've got Harry Wilson. I think he should go back on loan to a Premier League side. And Guric. I think Guric should stay at the same club for 1 more year.
Yeah, Jason makes a good point here. He says, I like Origi, but I think we can get a bench player more impactful, which is probably right. Let me go back up to another comment that was said earlier by Anfield Lark. He said, I think he's just betting him in, talking about Fabinho, and is also very loyal to his other players. Let me say this. That's probably right, but I think everyone with eyes, even Stevie Wonder, who doesn't have eyes, can see that Fabinho is more than already betted in. There's no question about that. Naby, you can question. Yeah. Fabinho is already betted in. And so while I get what Anfield Lark is saying, and sometimes let's think a bit of a your average person like us situation. If you're loyal to your boys back home, or you're loyal to a particular certain guys, at some point you realize the loyalty isn't given back. Whatever, I'm not going to bring up any examples, but you know what I mean. And you feel like maybe behind your back he's been a little, backstabbing or whatever. You're a fool to continue to be loyal to that person. Now that's maybe an extreme comparison, but my point is, you have some guys that you know can ride. As soon as Fab came in that game, and Clark can give me all of the deflecting of, oh well, Spurs were tired. I get all that. I get all that, but still, every time this guy comes in, more so than not. Sure, he's had maybe a couple of games where he might have been under a 7, but every game usually he's a 7 or more. So Klopp has got to stop with this foolishness, man. He's got to stop it. I'm sorry. You have to play these dudes that you know can get you a result. And I think, again, if we'd have lost that game, thank God we didn't, there would have been lots of questions aimed at Klopp. I mean, he really dodged the ball, dodged the bullet based on the silliness of Spurs players. But yeah, I mean, I think we really got to dodge with that one. But
definitely.
Yeah, I think the midfield, we've got to be playing our best. Specifically Fabinho. I think when it comes to the midfield, he's got to be the first name on the team sheet. No disrespect to Genie, but Fab is just that dude where quick touch passes. Unlike sometimes, and I don't. And you brought up Henderson before, saying he's a good player. He's a good guy. That's all true. He is a really good player. I think him trying to be pigeonholed in at 6 isn't the best for him for obvious reasons. But he is a good player, and there's things he can offer to the team. Go ahead.
I look at Henderson, and I feel almost sorry for Henderson, and the reason is I think he's a true professional to Liverpool. He's someone that loves football, as you can tell. He's not all up in the limelight on social media. He's not doing all this, adverts or craziness. He's not wanting, high wage. He's just a genuine character. And he didn't ask to be given the captaincy and fill Gerrard's boots or anything like that. The issue now with Henderson is I feel that Liverpool are going to a level now, and Hendo just cannot reach that level ability-wise. And that's the simple fact. If I was Henderson, I'd have a long, deep think this summer and think, most likely I'm becoming a burden. Am I playing because I'm the captain? Are the best performances when I'm not on the pitch? And he has to make a decision. He can become a great squad player for Liverpool. I do believe. I've got no issue with Hendo playing in some cup games, throwing him on with 10 minutes to go when you're 2-0 up at Old Trafford, because he will do his job. He's got legs. He won't make a mistake usually. Or he can take a step down and become a top player at an average club. I think he'd be a great number 8 at a club like Leicester, a club like West Ham. I just think at the moment he's no longer the level of where Liverpool want to go. And I think and there's a few players. I think Lovren's in that bracket. I think Mingle's in that bracket. These are all players that I do like as people. Lallana, but I think Klopp has took us to a level now where we're rubbing shoulders with Man City now. Pep came in. What did he do? He got rid of Joe Hart straight away. There was no loyalties. No loyalty. Joe Hart was their longest standing player, their captain, their this and that. I don't give a fuck. There you go. Bye. Company, he doesn't care. I went out and spent Laporte money, Otamendi, Laporte, John Stones, Kyle Walker. And I think we've got a bit of rubbish that needs to get sent out, sold, and I think Hendo might be one of the ones that's 50-50. You know, Milner as well. What is he now? 33, 34.
33.
You know, 33. He's gonna be 34 next year. I just don't think he's gonna be where I see my club going next year. And I think Naby Keita's been so unlucky to come into a side at this age with this type of pressure. You know, he's come into a team where every game's a final now, and it's been like that since January. So it's hard for Naby. You know, when you compare Naby to other younger players like Torreira at Arsenal, who are, you know, allowed to have off games. Torreira has lots of off games. He's allowed to. You know, Jorginho's allowed to. Whereas with Liverpool, because we have to win every single game. It's a bit more difficult for him. So yeah, it's one of them ones, really. But yeah,
and obviously you know this, but you know they've been asked to do a different job for their club as well. So
yeah,
I think that's the other thing. He's just, you know, hasn't fully gotten acclimated, but I think it's not doing him any good having him on the bench this long. That's what I'll say on that.
Yeah.
So you know, Hendo is like someone just said. He's very good. He's a good player, but I just feel like you said, we've kind of gone beyond that, and that's just maybe harsh truth, but we've gone beyond it. I think at some point, Klopp has got to see that, you know, this loyalty thing, or, you know, sticking with the guys that have gotten you there, or whatever the case may be, got to do his best for the club at this point. So, a part of me feels like Klopp is stubborn in that way, and he'll continue to. This is not the last we'll see of this midfield. I think we all know that.
Yeah,
I like to be proven wrong. But I'd be willing to bet any amount of money that we'll see this midfield again. And so we kind of just suck it up and say, all right, well, hopefully we can get past this depending on who we're playing. Talk to me about let's talk about Salah. There's lots of obviously continued conversation about him, and rightfully so. Do you buy into this idea, or let's say this narrative? I'll say my opinion in a few, but do you buy into the idea that he's playing too much for himself and not the team, or do you just feel like that saying of, well, he's a striker, he should be greedy? Just talk to me about some of the moments in that game where he could have. Well, I think there was one particular moment where he could have given the ball to Mane, and whether Mane scores that or misses it, it's a better footballing choice to make. I think. What do you say to that?
Yeah, totally. I remember it as well. It's when it was 2-1, wasn't it? 2-1, and he looked like he was going to, then he dropped his shoulder, and then he took a shot, he went well over. So my thing with Salah is, I think he's dying for a goal, and until he gets that goal, he is going to jeopardise, I do believe, certain chances. There's been chances where he has been good. You know, he's got 7 or 8 assists, which I think second to Robertson. So, you know, he's not totally greedy, but there are chances at the moment where he should be passing and he's not because he wants to goal. And I think he's dealing with his own insecurities. Did you see his interview with Carragher afterwards? And he brought up Aguero's name.
No, I didn't. I don't remember that part.
I'll send you.
Yeah. Is it you to mean like as far as saying that people have gotten a lot of goals and it's supposed to be their best season?
Yeah. So him coming out doing that, I wasn't a fan of. I think what that is showing is that he is. The word that I use, I kind of use it in Birmingham, is the word rattled, but it kind of means he's shaken, he's unconfident, and it's getting to him. The pressure is getting to him. He's come out and basically just said, I've got the same goal attributes as Hazard, as Raheem Sterling, and one off Aguero, and apparently these guys are having phenomenal seasons, PFA possible seasons, and I'm having this horrific season. That is by and large true. There is this agenda difference when people want to rate Salah's numbers compared to other players. You know, if this was Salah's first season, Liverpool fans would be like, whoa, 17 goals, 7 assists in all competitions, 20 goals. You know, that's impressive. But because of the levels he reached last year, 44, which is the most in our history, Ian Rush, obviously the bar was raised really high. Now, I don't think anyone generally believed he was going to get another 44, but people probably thought he can get to that 30 number and he can mix shoulders with the best wings of world football as an attacker. But he has slowed down his past 7-8 games, and I think it's confidence issue. And I'm hoping he got that knock on, although they haven't given him the goal. I'm hoping that will put it all to bed, because he needs to put that to a side and focus on the team. And, you know, I think also not having someone on the bench like Zaha, you know, Salah knows he plays every minute of every game. And I think that could be an issue too. You know, even your biggest egos, Pogba got dropped, they took the captaincy off him, and then he started looking better. You know, Aguero, he has 3 games without a goal. Jesus comes in. I think with Liverpool, because we don't have that, some of our players are very complacent. Firmino too. All of them can be complacent sometimes because they know no matter how bad they are, or you know, they ain't really going to come off. Really and truly, Salah's not going to come off. You know, rarely he comes off. And if he comes off, it's in the 85th minute, 86th minute, and that was for Sturridge. So, I mean, there's a few issues, but I do think he's low on confidence. He should have passed in that position, and there's times when he should have. And I'm hoping that it's put to bed. Maybe I just hope, you know, I'm hoping it's put to bed now because we need him and Mane. Mane's been wonderful, but we need him more than ever now.
Oh, wow, Mame, you're coming at the very good time. You're talking about your favorite player, Mo Salah.
Oh, hello, guys.
Hello, bro.
Yeah. So let me ask you. I think I kind of know your opinion. Anfield Lark says spot on, Jamz. I thought that was a great breakdown of what you just said about Salah. Mame, is this Salah playing for himself, being greedy, or is it just him being a striker and he should be greedy anyway? What's your opinion?
Well, frankly, I think he's being greedy. I don't think he's doing it deliberately. He's just so desperate to score. But he's being greedy. He's being greedy. That's obvious. Because it happens 1 time, 2 times, okay. But like now, every single game, there's at least 1 or 2 chances to score the ball. He doesn't. So yeah, he's being greedy.
So there's a comment here from Ray Navarro. Thanks for stopping by, Ray. All right, so 2 things. What he says, one is, what about Mane not passing the ball to Robbo when attacking the Anfield Road end? Which, okay, I get his point. But last I checked, Robbo is not, and I'm not taking a shot at you, Ray. You know this. Robbo's not a known goal scorer. Mane's been in form. You kind of get that. If Salah had been scoring for the last few games, then you're not really questioning probably why he's not passing. You're not really questioning why, because he's in form. You know, he's a guy in form. So that's my response to that. Because he said Robbo had a clear shot on goal if Mane had given him the ball. But yeah, I just feel like Mane has been 11 for 11 before that game. Yeah. So you feel like he's the hot guy and still has some nice shots on target. But you know, there's so many ways to look at this. I think you could say Mane was selfish at that point. I wouldn't, but I kind of get it. Someone also says, to be fair, Aguero is really greedy, but no one says anything. But the same thing with that. Aguero usually is true. And I get it. Salah had this great season. Go ahead, Mame.
Guys, when you're greedy and you score, it's normal. Salah was like that last year. There was plenty of chances. He could have scored the ball, but he scored. You know. But once you stop scoring, you know, you gotta be more like, you gotta give the ball.
It's about the team
more often.
It's about the team. That's about the team. It's not about you winning individual awards, breaking records. Maybe it is in your mind. It's about the team. And so, you know, we talked about quite a bit here, Mame, but I want to track back a little bit just to get your opinion on the midfield. And do you think you can safely say, without a shadow of a doubt, that we won't see that midfield again, the Brexit +1?
Of course no. I don't want to see it again. But the problem is, it works because we're winning, you know. So it's kind of hard to.
Does that mean it works? Because did it really work?
At the end of the day, it works.
I don't know, man.
At the end of the day, it works. Of course, when you see Fab coming in, the game changes completely. But you know, he wins. Club, it's hard to tell him something, you know, because it's working.
He's stubborn in that way. But my response to that is, don't you think that the midfield that we have with Fabinho, starting from the beginning, is the way we should go? Don't you think he should be the first name on the team sheet as far as the midfield is concerned?
Frankly, yes. But look at it this way. Club going with his Brexit midfield, you know, and doing quite well, you know. And at the end of the game, second half, he brings in Fabinho to put more pressure. You know, that's how I see it, because there's no other explanation.
Yeah, I can't make much sense of it.
I can't.
So as soon as he comes on, you can see the game change. Just like that. And I think if he's honest with himself, he probably thinks that maybe he should have started him. But who knows? I think Klopp is very stubborn, and we know that. So, like I said before, I just feel like it probably won't happen.
And there are some other games coming too. He has to give Hendo some time, some starting time. Maybe when things get tighter, he will put him on the bench. You never know.
I think the issue with Hendo, I definitely want Fabinho to start over him, obviously. The thing with Hendo is he rarely has a below 7 out of 10 game. And I think that's why Klopp chooses to go for him when Klopp's nervous or worried against a big team. Hendo's issue is he never has an 8 or 9 or 10 game, but he never has below 7. I've struggled to think of a game where he seriously makes mistakes or he always does his job, and the problem is Fabinho does his job times 10. And I just think Klopp doesn't 100% believe in his new signings, any of them. We spent 115 mil or whatever on 3 midfielders and we barely play them, especially the other two. Fabinho, yes, we do, but so that is if you had said to me, April the 1st, we're going to be top of the league with a game in hand. Our midfield is going to be Hendo, Milner, Widgie, and the new 3 signings are all fit. I'd be like, no, that can't be right. No way. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's been a few performances where, maybe the Arsenal away is the one performance where Fabinho wasn't up to scratch. But Fabinho was really coming to his stride in January, and surely Klopp is noticing this now. And he's struggling to drop someone, but it needs to be either Milner or Henderson, personally.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think Milner been out of form lately too.
Yeah, definitely.
And just about Hendo, I think I see what you're saying, because Hendo does what he's supposed to do. He doesn't do more.
Yeah. He doesn't take risks.
That's why fans we don't really like him.
Yeah.
But he does exactly what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, he does.
Nothing more.
Yeah. He does.
Yeah. So I think moving on to Southampton, is that at St. Mary's or is that at our place?
St. Mary's away.
St. Mary's.
So it's an away game. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say it's a nighttime kickoff, and it's quite far.
So that'll be interesting to see. Is it safe to say that we have the best fullback duo?
Yes.
In Europe?
Oh yes.
On form, definitely.
Oh yes.
And how much did we pay collectively?
8 mil.
Okay.
Trent was free, wasn't he? So 8 mil.
I just wanted to double check that.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen, I think we have. If we're saying that, and we're saying we have the best center back, we have a pretty good goalkeeper. Although lately I don't know what he's been doing. But the defense, we have one of the best defenses
in Europe,
if not the best. If not the best. And so that's just really, I think that's what gets me through these nervous moments in these games.
Yeah.
And also, I gotta give credit to the forward players, because call it luck or whatever that we've had this season. As I said to Jamz earlier, you got to be in those situations to get the luck. And so people can bring that up as hatred towards us or whatever. But that defense, man, is what always has me, confident going into games. And like me and Mame spoke before this last game, I predicted a clean sheet, and we probably should have gotten it. Probably should have gotten one against Fulham, but we didn't. I think Mame predicted the 2-1. And I think Mame also predicted an own goal. Didn't you mention the own goal, Mame?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
I hope you're betting, man.
I didn't think about it. I forgot about mentioning it in my post, man, because I was so just stuck with the emotion. But as soon as I think Mame predicted that.
Yeah, I could remember the first game against Tottenham where all the corners were straight at the goalkeeper, all the crosses.
Yeah, Trent tried to score, didn't he, twice?
Exactly. So, and they did the same in the first game, the first time we played them.
Yeah, and I think although Robertson has had a couple games here recently that he wasn't at his best, also playing a lot of football. You know, what we forget, besides the whole assist and his attacking play and how much we would how much we would lose it if he got an injury, knock on wood, because we know what's in the But defensively, this guy is so underrated. Not by us. I think by what people see. I mean, you know, the block he puts was pretty much as a game-saving block on Christian Eriksen. I mean, that's a point-blank goal. Maybe 9 times out of 10, Christian Eriksen gets that. I mean, there was a moment where he was very good against what's the Brazilian attacker they got? Lucas Moura.
Lucas, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, it's just really nice to know we have a team that we can kind of depend on, you know, the backbone of it and the defense, the 4 guys across the back and the goalkeeper. That's really, really nice.
Yeah, just to put into perspective to how good Robertson is having of a season, he's got the second most assists for a defender in the history of the Premier League.
What?
Yeah, I read that the other day. So when you think of all the phenomenal left backs and right backs we've had, you know, Ashley Coles and Gary Neville's, and he's got the second most assists, and he's got 6-7 games to go. I'm not sure what the highest is. He might be 12. He's on 9. That puts him up there. Now, when you look at defense in Europe, he's second behind Kimmich, who's got one more. And you look at the league that he plays in, arguably Bayern Munich are playing in an easier league, I would argue. You know, when Tottenham beat Dortmund 4-5-0 and we beat Bayern Munich, you know. So that's how good Robertson is. And I think Robertson's phenomenal. I think last year, a few pundits put him in their team of the year. Gary Neville was one of them. And some people didn't because he only got the ball running in January. Do you remember? And do you remember in the final when Ronaldo went 1-on-1 with the keeper and Robertson managed to get back and slide tackle him in the box? Can you guys remember that?
Yes.
I remember watching that back and thinking, we have a special 23-year-old on our hands. That is one of the best players of all time, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he's caught up with him in the box, the confidence to take him out, you know. And if we can keep, you know, what the best thing about Liverpool, if we can keep our players, is the age. Our players are young, man.
Yes, that's key.
They're far from their peak ages. Like Robertson is doing this at 23. How good would he be at 26, 27? You know?
He's the type, you can tell when he plays, he was waiting for this moment in his career.
Yeah.
He probably thought it would never come.
Of course.
Yeah.
People probably joked and laughed that you got a guy from Hull City.
Yeah.
But look, and remember how frustrated some of us were that Klopp wasn't even playing him.
Yeah.
When obviously when that other guy was around, but
Moreno,
starting, you know, people were like, why? Because everyone saw it. Everyone saw the talent he had. Mame, you watched the game, obviously. I want to know if you guys noticed what I noticed, and that was the team throughout the break at some points in the training were clearly working on different situations when it came to corner kicks. Now, there were moments where we were crowding the box and kind of what Burnley did to us a couple of weeks ago, putting guys in front of the keeper, you know, boxing guys out. And I don't know if Trent was trying to score a couple of times from the corner kick or he was trying to place it better for a header. So do you think that's good seeing, because although the stats say that we're the best at free kicks, corner kicks, or maybe it's just set pieces in general, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell that because it's so frustrating, some of the balls we get, whether it be Milner or Trent sometimes or Salah, whoever. But somehow we've been able to come at the top of that list. Do you think it's good, or did you notice that even that we were doing different things from corners that maybe we weren't doing all season? Mame.
Yes, of course. And I like this way better than what we used to do because it was kind of wasteful. You know, we're just Trent or Milner were just putting the ball anywhere, you know, without not a real plan. But this time you can see them. It's hard to defend.
Yeah, so that was really, really good to see. Because it's nice to be able to switch it up, especially if you're not getting goals from your attacking players. Definitely not getting goals from our midfield. Then we have to find other ways to score goals. So I thought that was cool, and that really stood out in the game for me. So for this running, guys, that Spurs was kind of that team on paper, quote unquote, that people thought was going to be the hardest team left. There is a team called Chelsea. They're not really doing that well, but neither were Spurs going to this, and Spurs played, in my mind, pretty damn good, I thought. Some of it through our mistakes, but, you know, they played pretty well. So for the rest of this, was it 6 games left? Or we're at 5. 6?
Yeah.
6 or 5?
6,
Yeah.
yes.
What other? I mean, they're all listen. We've all said it's not a cliche anymore. They're all like semifinals. But are there any other games that stand out to you as games that really could be ones that we struggle in?
Oh yes, the last game against Wolves.
Yeah, and especially
That
it's a
would
lot right on it.
be that would be very tricky.
Then?
Yeah, I do think obviously Wolves, but I think if we are going into that game, I think the title will be decided by then, because if we go into that game level, we're losing on goal difference. I think I read the other day the goal difference is 7 goals to City's favour. They're going to Cardiff tonight. Who I can't decide Cardiff, because Cardiff need to win to stay in the league. So Cardiff might pull out a mad, and do something crazy. But if they don't, I could see them getting 3 or 4 or 5. So I don't think we're going to beat them on goal defense, basically, unless Salah starts firing as well, because at the moment Mane is saving us. So I don't know. I think Chelsea, as much as I think we will beat Chelsea, I could just imagine Eden Hazard breaking our hearts again. Newcastle away, it's tricky to say, really. I don't know. I think Southampton this Friday will be difficult.
They
all the games will be difficult.
All games will be difficult, yeah. All games, because all games are finals now, and the pressure's on. The pressure is on us, and I'm hoping Cardiff get relegated today. Part of me, because when we play Cardiff, they will be chilling a bit. They would have been down. And Wolves, I hope Wolves make the FA Cup final, because if Wolves make the FA Cup final, that's the biggest game in the history in 20 years. They will not be gunfiring in the last game of the season. They've got nothing to play for. Do you know what I mean? I know. I'm thinking quite deep. But if Wolves go to the FA Cup final, which they should do, really, I can imagine their minds will be there, because that'll be the following Saturday. They might rest some players. They got nothing to play for. So, all avenues.
Yeah, I prefer Cardiff to get relegated, because that's one of the teams I thought would, and I don't like Neil Warnock. And yes, it'll help us at the end. But even though I don't like him, what happened with those refs in that game versus Chelsea is a complete disgrace. I mean, that is just, and it's no surprise the English refereeing is just abominable. I don't know how this continues to, and I said it on HH's Hangout, that even when we get VAR, these guys will still fuck things up.
Yeah,
they'll still fuck it up. So it's really no hope in English football. I hate to say it, but I mean it's unbelievable. And I think the guy who sent off what's the fullback from Man United that got sent off against Wolves?
Oh, Ashley Young.
Wasn't that his 100th red card?
Yeah. It's the first one.
It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
No English refs made the World Cup for a reason last summer.
Yeah. I mean, so I kind of feel for Cardiff in that way, but they can go down. I don't really care. So
but don't you think that it's kind of rigged too? Like sometimes they do it deliberately.
They do what?
Like those wrong calls.
Oh yeah, you know what, Mame? I would hate to believe that, but I don't. But you're probably right. You're probably right, because that's a real shame if that's the case, and that needs to be looked into. But I mean, those kind of mistakes, it makes you wonder, how can it be anything but rigged? Because that just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I mean, the guy's miles offside. It's not even close. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate, because he is trying with that team, and I think Cardiff have done. They've been awful, obviously, but they've had some good results this season, and they've looked good at certain moments, surprisingly. But they're probably going to go down. But I mean, I think as Mame said, all these games are going to be tough, mainly because everybody wants to knock Liverpool off. Let's not get it twisted. Everyone wants to knock us out, and everyone's going to probably give us their best shot to the end of the season. So we just got to match that and be better. I think we're all on board on what trophy is more important, right?
Premier League, surely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I might have asked before,
because you see, like English Liverpool fans want the league. Like us, not living in England, not from Liverpool. We don't really care, and some of us want more the Champions League.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean, I think So I might have asked you guys this before at some point, but I can't remember, so I'm going to ask you. Is it a successful season in a season where by this point we won the league already? If there wasn't this ridiculous squad in Manchester.
Yeah.
So we come second, close second, like point difference or something like that.
Yeah.
And win the Champions League. Is that successful?
Yes.
Season? Okay.
Yeah. Yes. It is. It is.
I think even if we lose the league by a point and we get knocked out of the Champions League in the second leg at Nou Camp, I wouldn't call this season a failure. I think at the beginning of the season, I've got it saved on Twitter. My prediction was second in the Premier League. My prediction was that all these new players, Alisson, Keita, Shaqiri, Fabinho, not getting Fekir coming in and knowing Ox was out for so long. And I didn't honestly think we would take Man City toe-to-toe. When they brought in Mahrez and the squad was already phenomenal, I just didn't think we would. I didn't think we would be as good as we were. And I think it's all progression. Like, it is all progression. Next year, I thought we'd win the league next year. If we do, it's obviously a bonus. The issue is that we were 7 points clear. That's where the issue becomes. If we never had that on them and we caught up with them, everyone would be saying Liverpool are amazing, they're phenomenal. How they caught up with them? But the problem, because City had 2 off games, Newcastle and Leicester, I believe, that's where the pressure went on to us. But really and truly, it's fine to lose 1 game and draw 4 games in the season. That is, we've got enough points now to outdo Invincibles of 03-04 and to outdo Man United's treble season. So it's a phenomenal season regardless. The problem is City, but we can't get disheartened by it if we finish second. And other fans will try to dishearten us. They're bottlers, they're this, they're that. We need to grow from here. And I still think we're 2 or 3 players short from being Man City's level.
Yeah, definitely.
But the one thing, if we do fail to win the Cups, is Klopp needs to look at why he keeps going so weak in the FA Cups and League Cups.
Yes. Well, I think, he can say whatever he wants. I think I won't say obviously, but it looks evident to me that he thinks these are the biggest competitions, which they are, the league and the Champions League. So, I don't know if I can knock him for that. I get Liverpool fans starve for a trophy, and I can get someone giving him some stick for not, trying to go for everything. But if we go on and win, go ahead.
We don't even have the depth to be competing
anyway. Exactly.
That's the thing.
And I don't see why people can't see that. So, I think those are good points. Liverpool, we are doing well right now. 2 points ahead. And it's really, people will talk about, hoping United beat City and Spurs, and I get all that. But at the end of the day, Liverpool have to be there to take advantage of it. And let's be honest, we haven't done that. And like Jamz just said, what's going to be troubling at the end of the season if we don't get this much sought after Premier League is that we did have the chances to go above them in a significant way. And a lot has to do with just the experience of being a champion. I think Milner might be the only, I don't know if Sturridge got something with Chelsea, but he's the only one that has kind of that experience. And so, City were able to get that back. But I think like Jamz said, you can't, the whole bottle talk, you can't really bring that up into the season, because what Liverpool has done this season with this other team is pretty phenomenal, I think. And like you said, getting those 2 or 3 other players to compete with City, really, I think should be the key. But I'm enjoying the ride, as they say, and I think at the end there'll be some fruit this time as opposed to last season. So we'll have to just see. But doing well. I like where we are. I don't have too many. Go ahead.
I got a question for you too.
Sure.
So Joe Gomez is coming back. I believe he's full training now, possibly on the bench for Friday. Not sure when. Are you guys all for throwing him back in? Or do you think Matip's done well? We cannot afford for anything to go wrong. Do you think we should stick with Matip, or do you think eventually we should be bringing Gomez back in?
Go ahead, Mame. You go first.
Yeah. We discussed this last week, and I was like, let's go with Matip because he did well.
Yeah.
He's been doing well. Gomez, I don't know what really we're gonna get from him from the get go. So
see,
that's
so does that mean you don't go with Gomez at all? Do you just not start Gomez until Matip makes a mistake, or?
He can come from the bench, or he can just for Matip or for Trent.
Yeah,
you know, just to get the rhythm.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Trent has been playing a lot.
Yeah. I mean, call me paranoid, but I'm a little worried about Gomez now. That's 2 serious injuries.
Same.
We can't afford to. I mean, look, the likelihood, I don't know, but I mean, let's say he does come back, and God forbid, the worst happens. I think if Matip was really struggling for form, then you could say, we really got to bring Gomez back. We saw Klopp throw Lovren on in a few seconds or whatever it was in the game against Spurs. I don't know if that was so much more to kill time or just to really give Lovren a nice, a few minutes to run out or whatever. But I think, again, Matip's been so good, man, and I think it'd be a shame to just say, okay, Joe's back, let's throw him in. I can't say I'd be against it though, because Joe Gomez is that good, and I think he's on the road to becoming one of the best center backs in the world. I'm not just saying it. This guy is a total beast. I get it, but there's no need for
Van Dijk.
Oh, no question. No, and if they stay together for years, please. I mean, I get Liverpool fans who are saying things like, "Let's go get Koulibaly" and all that. I don't think we need to do that. Now, there is some thought to that because we don't know how Gomez's injury issues are going to be. I don't, and I feel like I'm scared that it's going to be an Ox, a Lallana, a Sturridge kind of thing. I hope it's not. I hope I'm wrong. But to be that young and have 2 serious injuries, I often wonder what kind of Gomez we're getting when he comes back. So I guess my final answer is I'd allow Matip to continue to play. And, maybe if Gomez is really fit and he's looking good and the doctors are saying everything is cool, maybe you throw him in Champions League second half off the bench. I don't know. But it's good to have him back for sure. I mean, because same with Ox. I don't know what we're really going to get from him, to be honest.
I'm not counting on Ox. I'm not counting on Ox for the rest of the season anyway.
It's mad to me that
whatever we get from him is a bonus at this point.
Yeah, and I agree that having him on the bench, maybe in the Champions League game, in the final or something like that, could be nice for the squad or whatever. But do we really expect much? Go ahead, Jamz.
Yeah, so my thing quickly with Gomez, I agree with both of you, Mane. When I look at our fixtures now, I'm looking at them right now: Southampton, Porto, Huddersfield, Cardiff, Newcastle, Wolves. Except for Chelsea, and even Chelsea, we don't need Gomez in the team. Matip is very good alongside Virgil van Dijk. The only time I'd think Gomez could maybe be needed or worth the risk is when we play Barcelona because of his pace. If Gomez is fully fit, that pace that he has, it was phenomenal at the beginning of the season. And going against players like Messi and Dembele, having him and Virgil, for me, would be a lot better than having him and Matip. That's the only time in the season. But it's such a massive game. Perfect world, we smash Porto at home 4-0. In the second leg, we can afford to take a few risks. Like we did last year, we won 5-0, put the game to bed. I don't want to be that cocky because that might not happen. But except for that, I think it's not worth the risk. Because in the league, I don't think we need to play him. I think, like you said, bring him on at right back, 65th minute, let Trent have a rest. It's just not worth it. With his injuries, I think we need to go out and get another centre-back in the summer. I don't think we need to go out and get a Koulibaly 80, 90 million player. But I think Lovren needs to go regardless. And Matip's injury record is also very bad. And like you said with Gomez, I've got a horrible feeling Gomez could be like, if you don't remember the name, Ledley King. He was Tottenham.
Oh, yeah.
He was better than John Terry on his day, but he was constantly injured. In the end, he never trained. He used to just turn up for games. And that's my worry. So I would still go for a centre-back in the summer, regardless.
Okay.
But as for Ox, I agree with what you both said. I think Ox is a bonus if we get anything from him. The issue is at the moment, we don't even play Shaqiri or Keita, so I don't even know where Ox is going.
Right. Well, real quick for both of you, and then we'll get into Southampton, then we'll wrap up. Matip or Lovren, who, if you had to pick, if you're running the club, who gets sold?
Oh, okay. Lovren gets sold.
Okay.
Yeah, Lovren, of course, because that duo, 2 injured players, 2 players made of glass, Joe Gomez and Lovren. Where are you gonna go with that?
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
And if you have to sell someone, of course, it's got to be Lovren.
Okay, I think we all agree on that. All right, let's finish up with Southampton. They got this guy who was at Red Bull. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Maybe one of you do, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got him playing some good football. Got him playing some really good football. And look, we know the Southampton Liverpool thing. We get it. Going to St. Mary's. Who from their team, if you know the little bit you guys watch, I'll start with Jamz first. Who from their team do you think could trouble us, or anybody that you're concerned about on the Southampton squad?
I was going to ask, can Danny Ings play?
No,
he's on loan, so I don't think so.
He can't
right?
play.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he was the one person I wasn't sure if he could play. Because he'd love a goal against us, and he probably knows quite a bit about us. Except for that, I'm not too sure. I'm not Austin. I don't know. There was another guy who was quite quick. He has yellow hair, dark skin, maybe like my skin tone. He's got yellow hair. He's always good when I watch him play Traore or something like that. But no one really, you know. There's no one at Southampton that stands out to me that I think, they could cause a lot of damage. It's just the manager. He's got the bench.
Were you talking about Lamina?
Yes.
Lamina.
Yeah. I like it. I do think he's a good footballer.
Very good player.
Create something out of nothing. But no one really.
Yeah, we're definitely not worried about Nathan Redmond. Right?
Yeah, not really.
Good. Mame, anybody?
Yeah, same. Only Lamina. Only Lamina.
Yeah.
But now I think they got better as a team, though.
Yeah, and I think on his day, James Ward-Prowse is a decent football player. But again, nothing that's terribly frightening. But you know, he can play a little bit of ball sometimes as well, as well as Romeu, who's I think has always been a consistent midfielder. Again, nothing to write home about, but decent player. At the end of the day, listen, this is a game Liverpool should be getting 3 points. I'm looking forward to seeing the forward play to be a bit better. So I'm really glad Firmino got that goal from the assist and all that. But I want to see the four guys getting back to what they can do. And I think if we see Fab in the starting lineup, I think we can see some of that, because as good as he is defensively, he's so quick-minded at moving the ball. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about sometimes it's almost like you almost wonder, is he even looking? He just kicks the ball and it goes where he wants to go. There was also something I noticed, I'm sure you guys did too, was this interplay between our fullbacks in the last game. The switching the ball to the other side. And
that was magic.
I think if you can do that with enough space and quick enough, which they were able to do, and remember, you know, it was Klopp's favorite condition out there. It was windy and everything, and still they were able to do that. So if we can do that against teams and get them lopsided, I think that can really, really be a serious asset for Liverpool in a lot of these games.
I think we're really gonna need Fab this time, because I see Southampton playing a very low block. You know, they have nothing to lose, nothing to win. You know. Yeah, so true. They will. Do
you think this manager will play that way though?
Well, it's possible. It's possible. He knows Klopp. He knows that if he opens up, he's gonna get killed.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, he definitely knows Klopp, but he knows his squad too. So it would probably be suicide to open up against us. So you're probably right. And again, in the past, that used to really frighten me, because we didn't quote unquote have that guy to unlock. And I think even now people would say, well, we still don't have that Coutinho player. But for some reason, with the fullbacks we have, and if Fabinho plays, and if we can do good at set pieces, I'm less concerned with this idea, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I used to fear going into playing these teams that play that low block, you know, maybe a year or two ago, because I knew that we would struggle against them. But now, you know, I haven't really felt that way. So no, I think it'll be a tough game, though. I think they'll try to frustrate us a lot, but I think we should come out on top.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. I read Salah's played Southampton 3 times. He's got 4 goals. So I'm hoping this is the game he gets his duck out the way and then comes back firing. As for Mane, it's his old team, so Mane should start firing. Maybe they have a vengeance against us because we've got so many of their players. You know, I don't know any Southampton fans, but I wonder how they feel about us the way we feel about maybe Barcelona when they took Mascherano and, you know, Coutinho.
They want to be sold too.
Yeah, but I also think Mane and you know, guys like Van Dijk probably want to do really well against them as well.
But I think Mane never scored against Southampton.
No, he hasn't.
Oh wow, is that right? Damn.
Yeah, I think Salah has 4 times. Coutinho has. I think Matic did last year. We've got a good record against them. Do you remember when we lost them in the cup twice in the semi-final?
How can I forget?
2017. Yeah, but since then we beat them like 3-0, 2-0, and then 3-0 this season. Matip scored in it, and then Salah, and then I think we got an own goal as well.
Yeah. So, it'll be tough, but I think Liverpool should be able to get through that. Mame, give me a score prediction since you were so great on last time.
Well, I see a 2-0.
Okay. Jamz?
I want a big one. I'm going to say 4-0.
Yeah, I think it would be nice.
Well, I hope to see that, man.
Yeah, it would be great. At this point, I think we all can agree that it really just counts that we get the 3 points.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think this is a game that would be nice to see us really just getting after it. I think Klopp brought it up, and I think it makes sense. Winning a game that way, like we did against Spurs, is probably better than smashing them 3-4-0 because it keeps guys on their feet and thinking like, look, man, we dodged a bullet again. We really got to be on top of it. And so, hopefully against Southampton, we can do something like 3-4-0. I will go with a 3-0. And I think again, we got to start getting these clean sheets back. I think when you really look, and this is how good this defense is. When you look at the goals we've conceded, me and Mame talked about this last time. A lot of them have been these really comical, joke, silly error goals. Nobody's really breaking us down. Maybe a couple games you can think about. You can say, oh, okay, we really got there. But for the most part, it's an error by the goalkeeper. It's silly stuff, man. So
and most of them came from Alisson. So
which is really he's got I don't know what's up with him lately. I really don't get it. I don't get it, man. But he's doing things that if that was, and he got a little bit of cachet because he's been so good. But if that was Manuel Karius, he might be getting death threats. The things he was doing in that Spurs game. I mean, unbelievable. I don't know what that's about. So and again, that's why we were quite fortunate because there was at least 2 blunders, one with Trent, one with Milner. So, listen, I think we've talked about it before. We got this keeper. We knew, especially if we didn't know after the Leicester game, we knew how he could be at points. But as long as it's not hurting us, what I'm noticing about this team is that even when things go against us, nobody's hanging their head or anything. We just get back up and we keep playing. But again, not to knock Henderson, this is why I talk about Fabinho, because do you remember in that game where I forget who was fouled or who got the free kick? I think it might have been Genie. And do you remember how Lucas Moura wouldn't let him kick the ball? He was getting in his face. He wouldn't let him kick the ball. And the ref didn't do anything. Why couldn't Henderson do that? Why couldn't Henderson? Why, I mean, come on, baby. Like, you got to be the captain. Be the captain.
That's why I was so mad at Henderson, because Moura did that, and then he just let Harry Kane shoot the free kick.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. You have. I mean, that's my thing, and I think that he knows he fucked up in a situation that led to a goal, unfortunately. But I think that he's not a guy you would think he is because he's a veteran. He's not a guy that can shake that off. That, in my opinion, was on his mind for until he came off the pitch. And that mentality you cannot have in a captain. That's always been my issue with Henderson. Not that he can't be a captain, but his mentality isn't always there. You're not a captain because you yell at the refs after a bad call. That doesn't make you a captain. Your mentality is very weak, and that's my issue with Henderson. Not his football skills, his mentality. And so that was one thing. Look, watching the game back again, that made me wonder, why couldn't you have done something different? The same thing Lucas Moura did. You're not gonna get a yellow card for it. Just a little bit of what they call shithousery, I guess. Same thing with Van Dijk kicking the ball out of the stadium after we got the goal.
I loved it.
You have to start doing these kind of things. You have to. You have to start doing. It's part of football. Everybody else does it against us. We got to stop being nice guys.
Anyway, everybody know who the real captain is. So
Well, yeah, no doubt. And I think
we spoke about that earlier.
I can't see it being any other way when the season starts. Well, the preseason, goddammit. I can't see anybody else wearing the armband but Van Dijk.
So how do you reckon he'll take it off him?
Just like that, Hendo, I love you. Watch out. Van Dijk, here you go. I mean, really, it's that simple. That's simple.
That's the only way to do it, man. There is no other way.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do it. You have to. Now, will Klopp do it? I don't know.
But do you see Hendo playing as much as this year?
My answer to that is it depends on who you bring in. But even so, if Ox is fit, you think Keita will be coming on? Yeah, he probably won't. He probably. But didn't they just give him an extension though?
No, I don't know. Did they?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I think at the beginning of the season or end of last season.
I remember that coming out and people losing their mind about it because it didn't make sense. But
yeah,
I mean, he shouldn't be, because you got to believe. Do you guys think we'll sign another midfielder, at least one, or you think Klopp's set with the midfield?
No, I think we will.
Okay, because then Milner, you got to ask about Milner too. How much longer can he go?
Yeah, I think Milner will go. I think Buick will stay on loan. I think Wilson will go to a Premier League club on loan. I think, Ox coming in. I'd like to see a 10 come in, but I just think we will. I think the big one is Naby Keita. I think Naby Keita next season needs to take it by its stride. And, it's like we said earlier, it's been difficult for him coming into a season like this where every game's such a big game. But yeah, I think, if Naby's having a wonderful season, we probably don't be seeing Hendo that much. But we're probably seeing Hendo so much because Shaqiri, for some reason, has been X'd, and so has Naby. Which is
I think Klopp gave up on Naby for this season.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope that's not true. I hope that's not true.
I hope it's not true, but that's what I feel.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to protect Naby as well.
Exactly.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Naby's. If you look at the difference between Shaqiri and Naby, Shaqiri's 27, 28 soon. He came for 13 million, and he's come. He'll go, whatever. With Keita, it was so blown up. He was brought 12 months early. He took the number 8 shirt off Gerrard, which hadn't been worn for 5-6 years. He came for 50 mil, and we cannot afford for that kid to get damaged and end up as a flop. So I think at the moment there is a bit of, let's just protect him. Let's keep, and at the moment we are in the limelight because we're going for the league and the Champions League. So we are the most watched team. In England, we're on TV nearly every game, and which is quite rare. And that's because of the title challenge. So I think people are quick to jump at Naby. If he makes one mistake, everyone will highlight it. Oh, look, Naby this, Naby that. And even on Twitter, someone scores a goal, he's got a goal, Naby hasn't. He's got a goal, Naby hasn't. And I think it's important that Naby doesn't feel that. Because Klopp did come out and say, as a 22-year-old, it's a cultural change, it's a language change. He's not been in England before like Mane or Salah or he's kind of, he's only a kid himself. So I think it's more protection.
And he doesn't speak English too, That's a big...
And then he had a few knocks as well, which I don't think helped. He had a few injuries, minor injuries, but them little injuries, they knocked him out. He was getting 2-3 games on the bounce, then he missed a game, and then 2-3 games, then he got, so I think, yeah.
Yeah, there's someone who left a comment here, Lark. Had to make sure he was serious, but I think he's serious. He says Naby needs to either go on loan or be sold, unfortunately. It's a little bit harsh. I think that's unfortunate. But I don't think this, and this is just the age that we are as a supporter group. I don't think he's alone in that. I think that's probably
he's too good for loan.
Yeah. I would hope that didn't happen, and I hope that's not in Klopp's mentality at this point.
I don't think.
Nah. Klopp knows what he can get from Naby. If Naby plays at his potential, we won't need another midfield. That's for sure.
Yeah. You look at Naby's goal. You look at Naby's goal attributes in the past 2 seasons. He was on fire, in Germany. So we know what he's about. I just think we need to be patient with him, and not every player hits with the ball running. And I think I put it down to having such a big season. He's just struggled with such a massive season. He's not been able to take it slowly. Like the example we gave earlier was Torreira has bad games. No one brings it up because it's Arsenal. They're not going for the league. Jorginho, God knows what he does, but no one brings it up. With Liverpool, when you're going for the league and the Champions League, everyone's magnified. And obviously being 55 million and the number 8 shirt probably don't help. So
yeah.
And also being played a lot out of position too.
Yeah.
People don't bring that up. People look at that as excuse making, but it's true. And I think another summer under his belt, more time, more English classes. Naby, get the English classes, baby. Come on, you gotta get the English classes. Damn, son. So hopefully he does that, and then there's no because I hate to even hear that could be an issue, but I guess it could be. But Navy's got to get that done. It's got to get that done.
Yeah. No, I think so.
So should be good. I'm ending with this. Did any of you fall for the April Fool's Van Dijk injury? Be honest. Did you even see it? Did you even see it?
I didn't even see it.
No, what fill me in? What happened?
Well, April Fool's. There was plenty of things on Instagram or Twitter just saying that whatever happened with him in Tottenham is ended up being a serious injury, and it wasn't anything crazy like a month out, but it was like 2 games out or something like that, 2 weeks. So remembering that it was April Fool's, I was like, this is bullshit. But then, of course, the next day I had to check the LFC news to make sure it was bullshit.
Yeah,
and it was, because that's come on, that would be.
Oh, they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that.
That would be harsh, man. Yeah, they can't fuck with people's heart like that.
No, they can't. Some people have big money on dream fantasy football and online betting, and they can't do that, man. But it shows our squad depth, how worried we are. If we
okay. Now, do you think if it was true, how would you feel? Do you think that we can win the league or win the Champions League without Van Dijk?
No.
I'd love to be a super fan and say, "Oh yeah, we could do it still," but I'm gonna have to opt with a no as well.
No.
And I'll say this. I don't think we'll get blown away by every team either. But I do think Van Dijk is that essential to that defense to where I don't know who could really go into it 100% confident. You know what I mean? I mean, he's clearly, and I remember saying, and I'll admit it. First came in, did well. I was of the mindset of, look, let's not give Van Dijk this much credit. It's the defense, but it is him. It is him, and that's and obviously it's the other players as well. I mean, they're not robots, but it's definitely Van Dijk playing a major role in helping this defense. And I think he's got to get Player of the Year. I know defenders don't usually get it, but he's almost come in and single-handedly turned this team around.
Yeah. No, I think he will. I think what you said about how good he is for us. I think also it's psychological.
Exactly.
When he's in the lineup, I think everyone's confidence is boosted up. I don't necessarily think our ability of players goes down, but they all of a sudden, I think they second guess. I think our wing backs won't attack as much. I think Matip will look a bit more lost when it comes to following a high line. I think that's what Virgil brings to the team. Obviously his ability too, but that psychological impact of having Virgil van Dijk in the tunnel, it looks aggressive. When they show the camera in the tunnel, you got this big guy, a back afro, 6'2", 3". He just winks and smiles at people. He's like fucking hell, he's like a beast. So I think it's a mixture of things. As for PFA player, I think he will win it unless Raheem Sterling has a massive effect on the next 5-6 games. And I'm talking a hat trick here and then a dying minute winner. I think Virgil's already probably got it in the bag, simply because you take Raheem Sterling out of Man City, they're probably still first or second, because Mahrez would step in and play a lot more games. So would Sane, so would Jesus. You take Virgil out of the Liverpool team, and are we fourth? Where are we? Are we fighting for fourth? That for me, or is Man City just running away with the league like last year and everyone else is fighting for second, third, or that's where I think Virgil's so important, and in Europe as well. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing with Sterling. I mean, he's keeping Sane on the bench. Sane is a top-class winger, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's keeping Sane on the bench. So, here's the thing. Also, I think all the stuff that's going against Sterling, whether it be racism or the people, people writing stories about him that are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, I think that's really fueling his fire.
Yes.
And that is a problem for Liverpool. That's a problem for Liverpool. I'm telling you. So, I plan on seeing Sterling have a very incredible last 5-game stretch. I hope not for the sake of us, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So and the same thing with the kid at Juventus. I think, and that's why I love seeing it. And it doesn't bother me because I get it, but when you see African players and Black players walking off the pitch, in my mind, it's almost giving them what they want. The racist fans. Mm-hmm. I get it. I get it. You're fed up, but to me, I've always kind of been torn on if I really agree with that, or do I feel like stay and do what Mose Ken is doing, score the goal. Look at the fans who've been abusing all day, or do what Sterling does, just keep speaking truth to it, speaking power to it, and doing your thing. So I mean, I don't know, but
I think for me, it has always been motivation, you know.
Yeah.
From an African in Europe or in the States, you know, I live that. But for me, it was always motivation. Of course, sometimes you get frustrated, but you know that you're gonna work. You're gonna have to work harder for everything. You know, that's it. The only way to prove them wrong or to show them that they're stupid is to be the best at whatever you do. That's how I see it.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I think, you know, and I get it. You know, I fortunately have been in a situation where I'm playing, you know, in a league of a country that I represent, and I have to hear this from fans. So I'm not in his shoes, but I'd like to think that if I was, I'd do the same thing that the young guy did at Juventus and not walk off the pitch. Although I understand why guys do that.
Yeah. Eto'o walked off the pitch a few years ago. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's a famous one. That's a famous one.
What?
Eto'o, Samuel Eto'o.
Oh, okay.
Ronaldinho tried to bring him back onto the pitch, and Eto'o was really upset. Yeah,
that was for Barca, right?
Yeah, for Barca. Yeah. It's tricky, really. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, because, to be honest, the only way he's going to be taken seriously is point deduction. Point deduction is the only way clubs will do everything to stop it. Finding teams does do nothing. Playing in closed doors doesn't really do much. If you point deduct teams, which I don't think they do, because I think football is run by these racists right at the top anyway. But if you was to say, listen, if there's racism in the Champions League, you deduct a point. It won't happen. Fans won't let it happen. They won't. Then you're going to fall banana skin and lose three points in the Champions League. Doesn't make sense.
Right.
So. Right. But they're not going to do that, because most of these football chairmen are racist themselves. They have no care, you know. And to be honest, deep down, Pep says he cares about Sterling. Sterling goes 3-4 games without a game. He doesn't care. You know, I've been suspicious about Pep being racist in the past anyway, from his treatment of Yaya Toure and Samuel Eto'o and, you know, the Catalan Spanish.
Seydou Keita and
yeah. So
the list is long as far as Pep's concerned. What that is.
I think he doesn't care if you're black. If you're scoring goals, then you're scoring goals. If you're not, then, you know. Yep. But I don't know. Back to Sterling, I think, we need him to slow down a little bit. And the reason he's starting against Sane is I just think he's scoring goals. I don't actually think Sterling is as good as his stats make out. He doesn't really score good goals. He scores open sitters. And that is obviously because of the amazing midfield in David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and you know, they pass it into the net. But he doesn't have a finish like Sane. He doesn't have a finish like Sadio Mane. And Salah's been off this season, but you know, he doesn't finish like Salah was finishing last season. Sterling rarely. I think last year Sterling scored 2 goals from outside the box, so he's not someone that can put it on his left and top bins it. At the moment, though, he's always in the right place at the right time. And I think, you know, Pep maybe plays him because he's English, and Man City tried to have some English players in their team, and you know. But
I think it's more about momentum too, because coaches feel that. You know, you have a player who's doing really well, being efficient, just let him play. You know, I think that's why Sane is on the bench. Not that he's better or something like that. It's just that he's, you know, in a good moment right now.
Hey, I gotta head to work soon, but I do want to finish with another quote unquote last question.
Yeah.
If Sterling was still at Liverpool under Klopp, is he still looking this good?
Ooh, what a good question.
I think yes. Klopp is known to make players better.
Yeah.
That's what he does. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I think Sterling would be just as good.
But if he stayed, would Mane and Salah be at Liverpool right now? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. You know, one thing I don't like is people are making out that Pep's turned Sterling into this world beater.
I hate seeing that. I hate
seeing that. Like Sterling, you know, we know as Liverpool fans, Sterling was born a world beater. Like he was breaking Michael Owen's records, and then he was scoring 5 goals at 16, and then he was, you know, at 17, 18, he was part of a total challenge. He was, you know, he got like double figures, and then he got Golden Boy, then he went to the World Cup at 19, and then he was the most expensive English footballer of all time at 20. Yep. this isn't like Gnabry, for instance, at Bayern Munich, who was a flop for 5 million, and now Gnabry, big difference, big difference. Well, people are giving Pep way too much.
Yeah, as they do.
What would you do without Pep? Raheem Sterling would be a bad boy player anywhere as long as he's nurtured correctly. The one good thing I give is Sterling did have a bit of a attitude as a young person growing up. I was studying at Liverpool, so we used to see him a lot, and he loved the women, loved the sporty cars. And there was a few videos where he was rude to Brendan Rodgers. Do you remember? He spoke under his breath and stuff like that. Would Klopp have got it out of him? Probably, but I think Klopp gives up on people that can be a bit bad. Pep is obviously, I don't know, maybe Sterling's grown up a lot because he's settled down. He's kind of focused on one woman. I don't know, but that's the only thing with Sterling. He's grown up a lot. He has grown up a lot. Yeah, maybe moving out of Liverpool. He was always out when he was younger, so I don't know. But
yeah,
God knows.
All right, boys. Thank you so much for always making time. We will be back some point after the game, I would imagine. Try to link with you guys, but enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm sure we'll be talking on the whatever it is that we talk on WhatsApp. Yeah, so we'll be talking on WhatsApp soon.
Okay,
so much love to you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.